Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ video here on NoDQ.com and the full-length version back on YouTube today. Hope you guys enjoyed the full-length video. Please spread the word about NoDQ video. Tell a friend, anybody you know who watches wrestling. I got a lot of things to discuss today. As you can see, I buzzed my head in protest of Jinder Mahal being the new WWE Champion. I had a night of sleep to think about it, and I still think it was a bad idea creatively. Financially, that remains to be seen. Will WWE make more money in India from this? Time will tell, but from a creative standpoint, I think it was the wrong decision, and I will answer your questions explaining why today. Also, if you would like to support the website, for those of you that enjoy my opinions and the videos, you can grab a NoDQ.com t-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com, search NoDQ, or check out the link in the description box. With that being said, let's get down to your questions. First one comes from Matt. We always hear that they never make new stars. Well, they are trying something new. Why not sit back and see the story before crapping on it? I gave it 5 weeks, which was 5 weeks longer than I should have. Here's the thing with Jinder Mahal. I have nothing against the guy as a person. And as a talent, I think he's pretty good. But WWE really screwed up here, in my opinion, creatively. Yes, they're trying to expand their audience in India, and that's why Jinder Mahal is the WWE Champion. But as far as the credibility of the WWE title goes, I think they have severely damaged it. I think that WWE should have done this differently. You build a new star by gradually having that guy move up the roster. Look at Bret Hart. Bret Hart won the tag team titles. Then he won the IC title. He slowly worked his way up the card from being at the bottom to the top. Same thing with Shawn Michaels. Same thing with Triple H and countless other guys. With Jinder Mahal, he was never portrayed as anything above the lower card until 1 month ago, 5 weeks ago. Jinder Mahal should have been brought back and pushed right away. If WWE wanted to expand into India and grow that audience and build an Indian superstar, when Jinder Mahal was brought back last fall, he should have been pushed right from the get-go and built towards an eventual WWE title run. They botched it, in my opinion. They hurt the credibility of the WWE title, and as a viewer watching the storyline, I cannot suspend disbelief. That's the bottom line. I look at Jinder Mahal and I do not consider him to be a credible threat. I do not buy it as a viewer watching the storylines. Now, maybe some casual viewers that are not familiar with all the times Mahal has lost, maybe it doesn't bother them as much. But for me, I still have in the back of my mind Mahal losing to El Torito. I still have in the back of my mind Mahal losing week after week after week on Raw the past 7-8 months. So I have a major suspension of disbelief issue with this. And I guess maybe I should just check my brain at the door and just go along with whatever WWE feeds me. But no, I will criticize WWE. I will call them out if I feel that they are not doing something correctly. Now, as far as they're concerned, they are doing it correctly because they're making money and people are talking about Jinder Mahal. So what the hell? I mean, I'm frustrated with the whole thing. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Jinder Mahal will lead to greater things in WWE. Maybe creatively things will pick up in the company. People are saying, well, Jinder Mahal has great heat. The thing is, just about anybody could do what Jinder Mahal is doing. He's going out there and just ripping on Americans. And that's just about the easiest way to get heel heat in the world. I mean, almost anybody could do it. I mean, anybody could be a great heel if they're given the right material to work with. Go out there and bash Americans. Easy heel heat. Just about anybody in WWE could do it. Mahal's talented, but there's lots of talented guys, and quite frankly, I think a lot of guys more talented than Jinder Mahal. Not a fan of this, but it's WWE. looking for money first, and as far as being creative and artistic and really doing something different in a good way, they're just not doing it. This one comes from DJ Whitty. Now that Jinder Mahal is champion and you say he has no credibility, is the door wide open for anyone to beat him? Sami Zayn? Rusev? Yeah, pretty much. This is the problem now. Anybody can be WWE champion. Now that Jinder Mahal is champion, Sami Zayn can be champion. Fandango can be WWE champion. Tyler Breeze, The Ascension, one of those guys can be WWE champion. I mean, what's stopping WWE from pushing any of these guys just completely out of nowhere and having them go out there and kind of promo on Americans or do something for cheap heel heat? And then people say, oh, this is great storytelling. This guy's a great heel. He should be champion. He deserves his push. Come on, it's a bunch of BS. For those of you defending this, you're not making the situation any better. WWE is in a creative slump, and it sucks. It just really sucks. It's not good writing. It's not good storytelling. And they can do so much better. Why settle for less when you know they're capable of doing better? That's the way I see it. To me, Jinder Mahal being the WWE Champion is like Coco Beware being in the WWE Hall of Fame. There's no standard now. Anybody can go into the WWE Hall of Fame. And anybody can be WWE Champion now. It's killed the credibility of the title, which was already damaged in the first place from that Randy Orton feud. And the Universal title's damaged, not being defended on television. At least it's on a guy who you believe is the toughest guy in the company, but he's never around. So I still think Brock Lesnar as Universal Champion has more credibility than Jinder Mahal being WWE Champion. It's so ridiculous, and like the other guy said, maybe I should give it time. But when it's all said and done, when people say who was the worst WWE Champion in history, unless Jinder Mahal somehow manages to make this work, it's going to be him. I mean, it has to be him. Could be Vince, since Vince was WWE Champion, but that whole thing was just a one-time deal, and that was stupid at the time also. I'm not defending that either. It was just Vince being WWE Champion so he could say he was WWE Champion. It was dumb. But this, I mean, it's pretty silly. This one comes from Alex Boney. How long do you see Jinder Mahal's championship reign lasting? Really hard to say. Is WWE going to give it time? I would think that they've gone this far. They might as well give it some time. Maybe he'll be the new longest reigning SmackDown Live champion in history, since he's the new JBL. He's the second coming of JBL. But like I said in the review video for Backlash, at least JBL had some credibility. He had this reputation, and he was seen as a tough guy from the APA faction with Farouk. But Mahal, he's really done nothing. He won that one match due to outside interference, and all of his matches he's won due to outside interference. And other than that, he's been losing constantly. When will he lose the title? It's really hard to say. It depends on how long WWE wants to go with this. They might give up relatively soon if it doesn't make much of a difference in India. I think that's what it'll come down to. If business picks up in India, then he'll be champion for a while. If not, they'll get it off him as soon as possible. But we'll have to see how people in India react and how it affects WWE business there. This one comes from Deplorable Hamp. Can you see John Cena coming back and winning his 17th title from Jinder Mahal on Independence Day? I could definitely see WWE doing something like that, actually. I don't know if they will. Again, I think we'll have to wait and see how business does for WWE in India, because they're just looking out for the money right now. If it doesn't work out and Mahal's going to lose the title soon, I could see them doing something like that. I mean, would make sense. I mean, John Cena doesn't necessarily need to be the guy to do that. I'd rather see Orton win the title back and do AJ Styles versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam for the WWE title. That's the match I think they should do. But John Cena becoming 17 times world champion, Independence Day, beating the anti-American. I mean, that's the story WWE loves to tell. It's been done to death, too. I guess if you're a casual fan or you're a younger fan and you haven't seen the American versus the anti-American storyline so many times, then maybe you were a fan of this Jinder Mahal stuff. But for me, watching this for 30 years, I've seen it so many times. It's so played out. And to me, it just completely lacks creativity. And, you know, it's like Hollywood making the same movie over and over and over again, yet they draw the box office. I guess people like seeing the same thing over and over again, or they just, there's new audiences, new people coming in, but there was not much buzz for Backlash, and I feel like my fear is that there are less casual fans than ever watching WWE, and it's mainly just your hardcore fans that are going to watch no matter what. They'll watch it if Heath Slater's WWE champion. Hell, let's make Heath Slater the WWE champion. Let's have him beat Brock Lesnar. Why not? Who cares? The titles don't mean anything anymore. Let's make Heath Slater the WWE Universal Champion and do a unification match between the... You could do a triple threat with the 3MB members. Throw Drew McIntyre as the NXT champion in there. Why not? I mean, at this point, you can do anything. But I've ranted enough about that. John Cena, it's an interesting idea. I could see WWE doing it. Have no idea if it's going to happen, though. This one comes from Joseph Allen. What's the difference between the Roman Reigns and Mahal push? Since everyone hates Roman for his undeserved push and somehow feels that Mahal deserves his. That's a great question. I'm definitely a little perplexed why so many people like this Jinder Mahal push. I guess they're just so sick of Randy Orton. I sense that is part of it, that fans were happy that anybody but Orton is the WWE champion, which I think is unfortunate because I think Orton could have been a really solid champion. They just botched it with him with that Bray Wyatt feud. You know, that really hurt him. But I think a lot of it is just due to Roman Reigns being the guy that the company was going to push from day one. And with Jinder Mahal, I think fans have some sympathy towards him because he got fired and he did come back and he is in this spot. Again, I have nothing against Jinder Mahal as a person or even as a performer. You know, I think it's great that he's succeeding, but I think WWE did it the wrong way. Like I said, he should have been pushed from the day he came back. And if he's given a second shot and he's given a second chance to succeed, then you go with him right away. You don't bury him for 7 or 8 months and then all of a sudden you just flip a switch, you push him, and you expect everyone to believe it and be able to suspend disbelief. For me, at least, it doesn't work that way. And maybe I'm wrong for looking at this too logically. Maybe I need to check my brain at the door. Who knows? But that's it. That's my thoughts on Mahal. Now that that's out of the way, welcome to NoDQ video, and let's get down to your questions. This one comes from Larby. With the breakup between DIY, isn't a waste of their amazing tag team ability and performances? I have mixed feelings on this. I did talk about this with Virtue and Greg on the review video for NXT TakeOver. I think that they had more mileage as a tag team, and I thought that they were going to win the tag team titles. But apparently WWE likes them so much that they want them on the main roster, but they do not want them as a tag team. And that makes sense because there are a lot of tag teams right now. And look at American Alpha. They're lost in the shuffle right now. And you got the Revival coming back on Raw soon. So they probably would get lost in the shuffle. But the question is, what do you do with these guys? Are they going to be in the Cruiserweight division? Is one going to be on Raw, one on SmackDown? It's a lot of... It's a lot of doubt as to what WWE is going to do here and how these guys will succeed. My gut feeling is they should stay in NXT a couple months more at least and feud with each other and then have one of them come up at the end of the summer and then the next one comes up early next year in time for WrestleMania. I would do something like that, but I do think it was a bit early. I totally get the idea of doing them one-on-one in a feud. I think that makes sense. I just think that they could have been a team a little bit longer. I think I would have spread it out a little bit longer and not rush it so quickly. This one comes from Zach. Why do people say that John Cena should not retire The Undertaker due to his age? HBK ended Flair, Taker ended HBK, all of them were old. I do not think it's because of Cena's age so much as just the fact that it doesn't need to be John Cena. Somebody else could benefit from retiring The Undertaker, like Roman Reigns. With Undertaker's retirement, I mean, ideally, I said this years ago, that ideally the person to beat The Undertaker's streak or retire The Undertaker would be somebody who's going to be built as the future of WWE. And like it or not, that guy is Roman Reigns. So for me, if Roman Reigns is going to be the guy to beat Undertaker, so be it. He's the guy the company is going to build itself around. I just think having him win there as a babyface character was going to result in him getting booed out of the building, which I was correct in that prediction. But Roman is going to be booked as the future star, so you might as well push him to the top as much as possible and have him, you know, get the rub off of beating Undertaker. But one could argue that maybe even somebody else could have benefited from beating The Undertaker. Maybe Finn Balor, somebody like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. With John Cena, you know, it wasn't necessary for him to retire The Undertaker or end The Undertaker's streak when somebody else could have benefited from it. Cena did not need it. Got this one here from Sean T. Flick. Should TakeOver pre-shows get a kickoff match like the main roster pay-per-views do? No, I think the TakeOver shows are fine the way they are. If it's not broken, why fix it? I think the TakeOver shows are great. I think if anything, WWE should eliminate the pre-show matches for the pay-per-views. I think that they are pointless. They serve no purpose, and it's just time filler. And the people on the pre-show come off like jobbers, like lower card guys. And sometimes WWE throws talented guys in there that should be in a higher position in the company into that pre-show match, and it really hurts their ability. I mean, I do not blame Ryback for getting out. You know, when they were booking him in pre-show matches, it was making his character look like a total jabroni. So yeah, I think that, if anything, WWE should eliminate the kickoff matches altogether. This one comes from Tyler Joseph Smith. Do you think that Jack Gallagher should go to the UK division, stick with the cruiserweights, or join the heavyweights? I think he's fine where he's at right now. I do not see the need to change his spot in the company. He's getting regular TV time. The fans like him, at least the fans that pay attention to the cruiserweight division. I do not see a need to move him to another division. He would obviously get lost in the shuffle with the main guys, and being in the UK division, I mean, that's still, you know, in the early works and development. So no, I would not move him. I would definitely keep him in the cruiserweight division. Got this one here from my good buddy Aaron Rift Rules. Hey Aaron, out of the 5 competitors in the Fatal 5-Way match, who do you feel could work the best match with Brock Lesnar? To answer your question seriously, I will say Finn Balor or, well, you know, Roman Reigns, of course. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar had a very good match at WrestleMania 31, and those guys worked well together. Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar is untested, but I think it would be a very interesting match. I think Lesnar and Rollins would be really good. They already had a match against each other. I thought that was a good match. Now, to sarcastically answer your question, I say James Ellsworth should do whatever Jinder Mahal's doing. Start doing all the cardio twice a day and eating better, whatever Jinder Mahal's magic is. Get in Jinder Mahal's shape, go to Raw, be the 6th person in that match, and go on to face Brock Lesnar and beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. Because why not? It's something different. And that's what people are saying. They should push new people. They should do something different. Here's the thing. Just because something's different and just because something is new doesn't make it good. I care about good storytelling. I do not care if you're being pushed as a new guy or if you're being pushed as somebody who's been around for a long time. I think in the end you have to focus on the younger talent, but you need to do it correctly and do it in a compelling way that is satisfying to your viewers. So yeah, going back to the Jinder thing, I'm done with that. I think that's the last question here. No, got one more here from Mr. Yuck. Will I somehow be able to get Jinder Mahal into this question? Do you think Samoa Joe will get a significant push or title run? Yes, if Jinder Mahal can do it, anybody can do it. It's the new Coco Beware answer. Or will he be relegated to just sweeping up after Triple H? I've said it before, I'll say it again, I think Triple H has done a great job with Samoa Joe. I think that Samoa Joe, because of Triple H's influence, is doing really well in WWE. And I think Samoa Joe should be pushed as a top guy. I think if it was my call, I'd have Samoa Joe beat Brock Lesnar. I think Joe's one of the few guys that has the credibility to do it. But that's just me. This is just Aaron Riff, the guy who's trying to look at it from a logical standpoint. I believe Samoa Joe is a badass. I would not want to run into that guy in a dark alley. Jinder Mahal, I guess, you know, he kind of looks the part now. So, you know, some might argue, you know, Jinder Mahal looks like a star, and there I go getting Jinder Mahal into the question again. But, you know, go back to what I said earlier about Jinder Mahal. But to answer your question, I think Joe will be alright. Joe's really talented, and I think that he'll have a really good run in WWE when it's all said and done. That'll do it for NoDQ video. It'll be interesting to see the feedback for this. Will there be thumbs up? Will there be thumbs down? I'm sure there'll be a good mix of both. Hopefully some of you will be happy that the full-length video is back on YouTube. Again, if you guys would like to show your support for NoDQ.com, pick up the t-shirt, ProWrestlingTees.com, search NoDQ, or click on the link in the description box. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com. A very busy news day. A lot going on coming off of the Backlash pay-per-view. We have Extreme Rules in 2 weeks, so getting right back into another pay-per-view build. We'll have predictions videos next week and all that good stuff. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com, and I will see you guys next time.